Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Clandestino Brewing. This time we're gonna try as you guys see, a couple of weeks ago I brewed my own wet hop, which is here. We're gonna compare it with a Moon Underwater, Friends in High Places. We got Hoyne, Wolf Wine, and we got. I have an accent. He always laughs with it. Satori Harvest IPA.
There we go.
We're gonna try those three. Well, I gotta introduce my friend Ian. Ian is one of the guys. He's been. I learned a lot about brewing about him with him. Actually, the first time I ever brewed was with him. Things like that. I think that beer didn't turn out pretty good.
That was a terrible brew.
But we would try. Like that was a good experience. Like you guys seen in the channel, where we've been kind of collaborating together. But yeah, today we got this. How can we call it?
It's a smorgasbord.
All right, let's do that. Let's call it this way. All right. Anything you want to say to people to a Brewbig, buddy? You're more knowing than me and your Brewbig. You'd always come in. You'd always like get in. You actually been in meetings and stuff like that.
True enough, but sometimes I have unpopular opinions.
All right. Okay. Which one should we start with?
Do you want to work left to right?
Sure.
Which left?
Depending. What side are you on?
Do you want to do yours first or last?
Let's do mine last.
Okay. You want to start with the story?
All right. You get the hammer, buddy. There you go. You do it.
Good clarity
Beautiful
on
color,
this.
man.
Like,
Yeah.
Look at that color.
Yeah. I mean, it's a wet hop.
Well, sure.
There's no residues from like the pallets and stuff like that. So that should help you a lot to get it clear. In my point of view.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. I haven't even smelled it. Like from here, I can actually smell it. It's like a bomb. Can you? Like, yeah.
Beautiful clarity.
Man.
Nice head on there. I hope that sticks around.
Yeah, the only thing I have with this, like, do you see the bubbles just a little bit bigger? There's like quite big bubbles.
There are a lot of big bubbles. I don't know if there's a way that we can show that to the guys.
It's hard to show that, but like that hard, like a big bubbles tells me like the carbonation, the head retention is not going to be the greatest.
Yeah,
that's what it tells me.
But
the smell is amazing.
There's hops everywhere in this room right now.
Like from the table, you can smell it.
It's delicious already.
Yeah,
I like,
and you can smell it like wet hop. It's not just hop.
No,
you can
just
smell like
it's just
plant.
All hop.
Yeah,
it's like holding you down and just putting it in your mouth.
First of all, you know how hard it was to get this beer?
You went to the store?
They ran out the first day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I have to go through 3 different liquor stores to actually get it.
Really?
Yeah, they do really good marketing.
Oh, wow.
When I went to Hoyne, they were bottling at the time. This is the freshest fucking beer of all of them. When I went at about like 11 in the morning, and they told me we bottle it right now. So I came back 2 hours later, and I got my bottle.
Yeah, that's about as fresh as
it can get.
And that was 2 days ago?
Yesterday.
Okay. So that's as fresh as
yeah, in my side, I'm sorry. I started going to buy the beers yesterday while we're doing this today, which is like Thursday, and this is a Friday. Obviously, this is recorded. It's going to be like loaded later, but like it's not a live streaming. It's just a little pilot to see if you guys like it. Hopefully, you guys like it so we can keep going on this. Ian and I, we normally meet at bars and always have a good argument about beers. Always really friendly arguments. We have a completely different taste. Like I like lagers, I like pilsners. He likes IPAs. Like he likes more like saisons, thing like that. Like we are basically we call it like North Pole, South Pole, I guess.
Polar opposites. You like the IPAs though too.
I do
here
like
and
the
there.
IPAs. I love IPAs, but like
But
when I say something, I know my bigs,
Oh,
and you love them.
how can you not love that?
I like them. They're okay. I can drink one, but not like I'm gonna get hammered on them.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like that's what I mean. But like again, so this is the intention of the channel: have like two different point of views of beers, and have like, for example, it was pretty funny. Remember when I gave you my Hefeweizen?
Oh,
That like I very bragging about like how I'm well balanced with like banana and clove, and he tried it. He said like fucking clove to the roof.
oh man, like it would just a clove bomb.
And this is basically what I mean with like different palates, right? Like
Everybody's palate's a little bit different, and what I experience in a beer isn't going to be the same that you experience. So, you know, but I'm loving this. It's got lots of nice bitterness,
man, that's delicious.
but they've got still that full-on flavor involved too.
Yeah, it's like different than an IPA because you got the bitterness, but you got the sweetness from the wet hop. That he actually have like almost like they use like a lot of caramel malt onto it.
Yeah,
You get that sweetness in there.
It's got that sweetness
But
there.
the color is amazing.
Like, I don't think they actually used a lot of caramel malt. Or
I don't think they
there.
did.
I think that's just.
I think it's just the hop.
I
Yeah.
think it's just the hop, and they must have done like a couple of. It makes me wonder what they did for additions. It's really got some nice bitterness to it, while still having just a beautiful like full flavor of the hop. You know how sometimes like if you're just doing bittering, you don't get any of the flavors.
Exactly. Well, and that's my point with Phillips. They're just like boom, just like bitter.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, hop has a lot of characteristics. Like a lot of people get confused, like, oh, this is bitter, this is hoppy. Like, no, hoppy to me, hoppy is more like tasting actually the hops.
Sure. I mean, bitter is a good thing, especially in an IPA.
Of course.
But you've also got to have all that full flavor on there, and I think that's especially like for the style that we're talking about here, fresh hop. It's got to have all that dry hop, fresh hop,
yes,
dumped in there to give you that full flavor, to give you the full.
And unfortunately, we don't have much story about this and that, which we do have this with the cryo.
You know,
the intention that they did in that one. So we're going to talk about it when we get into that. But like, that's what's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not very happy.
If I'd thought about it, I would have gone and talked to some people and figured out exactly what was going on with these beforehand. I thought you were doing all the research.
Oh, come on, buddy. You can leave all for myself. Oh, I guess what we got here is like we got the god of beer here. So we got to do everything for it. No, I was just joking. No. But this is what I mean. Like I wish we have a little bit more story. This beer has been around for a while. Yeah, those two actually.
I've had both of these previous years, but this is my first time this year. They're always a little bit different. Right?
Of course, like being a wet hop, like it's always gonna be different depending on the weather, depending on everything. It's gonna be a little bit different. It's just like wine. You will never recreate the Saxon wine because the grapes will grow up in a different environment every year. Even if you're in the Saxon spot, still
similarities.
And this is the beauty of this. This is the beauty of this. It's like drinking, let's see, like commercial beer.
Oh,
it's always tastes the same because it's just bland.
I mean, that's their selling point, and what they do, they're good at. But isn't being the same boring? Like, isn't it better to mix things up a little bit here and there?
But people there's like they like Coca-Cola all the time, and they don't like fucking Pepsi. Like, like in here is like, man, like one day I can have one IPA, the next day I can have another IPA that it has a little twist, a little different than the other one. It's like that's
You know how
That's the-
often I brew the same beer? Like exactly the same? Like I don't. Every time I'm brewing up a beer, even if it's like I've got a grist that I use for my pale ale, I've got a grist that I use for my IPA. But the hops are different every time.
it's so like it
Who
just
wants to drink the same beer every time?
exactly. Or I switch the yeast too. Like I do a little bit
Mhm.
like for example, I'm impressed with the Verdant for Lallemand.
Oh, the Verdant?
The
Yeah.
Verdant, man, that yeast is incredible. Like it spiced the hop like
I
better
haven't
than
tried
any
that
other
out yet.
fucking yeast I
I
ever
haven't tried that
for-
out yet. They've got that at Hamilton's?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to have to give that a go.
Also, it will keep your beer quite cloudy too.
Oh, yeah. I do like
Like,
do like
it will
clarity.
basically looks like tranquility when you buy it. Like that's that cloudiness kind of thing.
Okay. I mean, if you're exchanging that for fresh and delicious hoppiness, maybe it's worthwhile. Because you said it, when you're using that, you have less drop off with the flavor, right?
Yes, no, the flavor, like the flavor of the hop is like intense a little bit more than a 1056 or USO5 will do. And also the fading is way prolonged. Like it takes a long time to fade. What the experience what I have with the USO5, like in a month, it was already fading.
Mm-hmm.
With the 1056, it don't fade in a month. Like in a month and a half, start fading, which is the same thing. But this one, I had beer for like 2 months, and I can almost swear that it's the same that it was when I fucking bought it.
I mean, it's not that my IPAs last on tap for 3 months. But
also, I know that yeast produce fruity flavors.
Mhm.
So I don't know if my hop is fading, and
And
the
it's
yeast
balancing
flavor
out.
is basically what I'm tasting is just the flavor of the yeast that is stay there. But like, if that's the result, I love it.
At that point, it doesn't really matter which way it is, right? Because if it's still producing a result that's basically the same, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
You can argue which one it is, but it doesn't matter.
It's like this is stupid argument that I have with a friend of mine that he's follow a Spain guy, a guy from Spain.
Yeah.
That he does like a lot of how's it call it talks. You know, like you go to a
Like
place and they talk, and people will pay to hear him what it's saying.
Oh,
like,
okay.
You know, like
Yeah.
speeches, shit like
Yeah.
that. So he has one technique that he said that the way the big breweries does to keep the hop by longer in your beer and it doesn't fade
Mhm.
is by doing a mash, like putting hop in the mash.
Oh, doing first wort hops? Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense to me. For more that I look around, it doesn't make sense to me.
I've never tried it. I've heard people talk about that, and I kind of want to try. Do you want to do a beer with me sometime and try that?
What?
Okay.
I guess we got a plan.
Okay. But to take a step back, it makes zero sense to me when I think about it, right? Because if I go, okay, what hops do we get almost no flavor out of when we do a beer? It's our early edition, straight into the boil, that's boiled and converted all those alpha acids the entire boil time, right?
Mhm.
So first wort hops, you're boiling the crap out of.
That's correct.
So how is that maintaining flavor?
It doesn't make any sense.
And I'm not saying it's impossible, because weird things happen.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't understand it.
I don't understand it either. And this is the argument that I got.
You're probably going to get a bunch of angry people posting underneath this.
And this is what we want. This is what we want. Let's argue. Like let's argue. Like we all. I never said that I know everything.
Yeah.
I never said that you were the god. Well, I did say that you were the god, but like I was being a joke.
It's true
I was
because
making a joke.
when I look in my phone, you're in here under Fernando Brewer's apprentice. So obviously that makes me the master.
Exactly. You don't want to know what you're doing.
Oh.
And I'm just joking. No, but this is what I mean. Like, the intention of my channel is never been to say like I know everything, do what I do. No, this is just sharing what I do. If you like the technique, try it. If you really say like, "Fuck, this guy is an idiot," I'm completely an idiot. Just fucking follow it. It's like I just do it for fun, right? Like, and it's working fine. Like, after the channel start, I actually met a few people from the city that I didn't know, and they met me because of the channel, and now we got good friends. And
That's
we talk
awesome.
about beers and shit
You're
like that.
YouTube famous.
I don't gonna say that because like this is not true. It just basically is being more like building a community.
Yeah.
Which is what I try to do.
That's what Brewvik is all about, right?
Exactly. And I really thank the Brewvik, whoever is the administrator, that allow me to post my videos. And I'm bumped for when you guys start the meetings. I really want to go to meetings now. Actually, I signed up for the last meeting, but
But it got canceled.
COVID got canceled and it couldn't go.
I'll make sure to drag you out.
Yeah, he normally goes, and he said like he told me that they're actually pretty cool. And yeah, it's nice to chat about beer and share. You know what the best part? Like, I like give my beer away for friends, but I really want a fucking instant fucking feedback. Like for me, like I'm so like this, like
absolutely,
absolutely. And I hate when I give a beer and they never give me feedback. It's like fuck, like I hope you like it, I hope you enjoy it, but like I didn't. Well, yeah, part of it. What I did is like I want to hear back to see how can I tune it, like teach it. Like for my taste, it tastes awesome, but it might be someone that say like, you know what, buddy, no, it's not good, and they're like,
that's true.
That's how you know your market.
I have two things to say to that. The first being, like, if you give me a beer. And I'm pretty sure that you've given me some that I haven't given you any feedback on. When I drink that beer, I just enjoy it. I don't think about tasting notes. I don't think about, the profile or the this or the that. Because, like, I do that sometimes. But if I'm drinking one of your beers, I don't worry about that usually. I just drink the beer and I enjoy the beer. And then 3 weeks later, you go, "How was that beer?" And I go, "I don't remember. I guess it was good."
And that's my point. But yeah, I got your point. I got your point too. And I guess it like, if I don't hear anything back, sometimes I think like I didn't do anything wrong.
Oh yeah.
Because
absolutely.
like, unfortunately, when you're with friends that they make beer, and you make a mistake, that's you want to hear it. And that's cool.
Oh yeah, actually that brings me into the second question thing there that I was going to say. Is the second thing is like we said earlier, everybody's always got a different taste in beer. Everybody's got a little bit of a different flavor profile in their mouth. The thing that their palate picks up more than other people, all that kind of stuff. There's no point in brewing beer for everybody else. Brew the beer for you. Maybe this is why I'm not a pro and here doing all the things, but I figure, like I brew for me, and I like to share it out. I like to get everybody involved. I like to pass it around to people. I don't know about you, but the amount of beer that I brew, like I can't drink it all. Like I can't, right? But
I could, but I'll be an alcoholic.
But I really should not, right? So, like most of it's for me, you don't brew styles that you don't like very well.
No.
Nobody can. Because
I'll do it for the channel, but I do like 5 gallons.
Sure. Yeah.
I give it away. I the people that I know that like that beer, but
It's just like you go to the baker that hates, I don't know, cinnamon buns, and his cinnamon buns are going to be crappy because he doesn't get the cinnamon bun, right? That's the guy who's like, eh. But if you get the thing from him that he loves, that he enjoys, that just brings him joy, he's going to do a good job of it because he knows it, he loves it, he treats it all of the ways that it needs to be.
exactly.
That's what makes it good.
You know what remind me of this when I look into the screen?
What's that?
Strange brew.
Take off, eh? You hoser.
Hey, should we take the next one, eh?
Yeah. Oh, sure. Oh, sure.
What was the name of that beer? Elsinore? No.
Elsinore. Yeah.
Elsinore?
Somebody
Didn't
somebody-
Phillips make an Elsinore once?
Phillips did do an Elsinore once, and it was in tribute to that. It's probably about halfway. No.
Remember my glasses sticker.
Oh, well, whatever. This one
Beautiful color,
has
too, man.
this one has
The
beautiful
clarity
color.
is amazing.
It's got just as great clarity. It's slightly
The smell is the
Slightly
aroma
lighter.
is less than that it was like the.
Oh, yeah.
This one is amazing. Like there was a pump.
I don't smell this from the table here.
Me neither.
It does smell nice.
It smelled like wet hot. Like
It almost smells like a lager. When
you
we
got a thing with lagers.
yeah,
Also, the bubbles are not as big. than the other
I
ones.
was just about to say that the bubbles are there's still a couple of big bubbles in here, but it's like looking at a pancake that's just about ready to be flipped, rather than just all big bubbles.
And you can tell like that's a good amount of wheat in there, like just for the foam.
Yeah,
Got a good protein.
there's
there.
good foam. I don't see that coming down yet, so that's a good sign.
And one thing I noticed on the other one, no lace.
Yeah, you're right.
I didn't
I was
get any
just
lace.
I was just thinking about that as we poured these
Mhm.
and wondering, but I didn't see any lacing. I didn't even think to look at the head later on in it to see if there was anything retained, but I suspect there must not have been if I didn't notice it.
Nope, there was nothing.
You're gonna edit this later, right?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
If you do, put a banner underneath. No head, no lacing.
No lacing. Poo, 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 poo. Ponen acá like the sound like. So it's not a roast. That's what we're trying. We're just trying trying the beers. Which Clay told us that he actually wanted to be roast. Remember we were
Oh,
there?
he did. He
He
did
said, like-
actually. He said to
He
roast
said
it.
like, please do. So like, no, please do. Like, it's the only way to get better.
I don't like this one as much. I'm not saying that it's bad, but I don't like it as much as that.
Winning.
Yeah.
You know what I got? I got a little bit of like a. How can I describe it?
It's
like
like that
I'm
thing.
like I'm drinking grass. It's just like too green.
Oh,
The flavor is like it's almost like a. Yeah, it's a rock right there. I can hear it.
I'm not picking up a greenness. Okay. Actually, I can see what you're saying. I'm
Almost like
picking
you're
up,
in cilantro. Not that green. Just joking, but like
I'm picking up something else more than that, and I'm not sure how to describe it.
actually, and the smell, I'm detecting some yeast,
Yeah.
which I didn't detect in this. I'm not very happy with this one.
I don't like. I hate saying bad things about a brewery, especially I love everything from them usually.
Yeah,
but,
me too. I never had a bad beer from them.
It kind of reminds me of the things that I hate about a lager. Is what I taste on this one.
And you say it when you pour it. When you pour it, it's like it smells like lager.
Yeah, and like I say, I don't know how to describe that. I've been looking for the verbiage.
I just wondering
years.
what yeast did they use? I can smell the fucking yeast. It smells just like when you take the yeast, like the cake out.
Oh yeah, it does.
Like when I got sprayed when I was cleaning my fermenter today. Oh, yesterday.
Yeah, there's a bitterness backbone on this, but I'm not getting nearly as much of the fresh hop flavor that we did.
It's considered a pale ale, okay?
Sure. And to compare a pale ale to an IPA, absolutely, there's stylistic differences there. The bitterness is probably about right for a pale ale versus the Satori there, which is an IPA.
Yeah.
Right. But it being a wet hop beer, I still kind of, is it just me? I don't know. I still want that fresh hop flavor.
Yeah, it doesn't have it.
But
it's missing a lot of stuff.
But it doesn't have it nearly to the same degree. Like there's a little bit of it there, but it's not.
The bitterness is too light. It's almost sweet.
Well, I mean, it's a pale ale, right?
Yeah, but like pale ale, at least should have like 40 IBUs.
And these labels, I always kind of hope that a label is going to have more information on it, but neither of these has the IBUs on it, and obviously the IBU scale is a problem. We've talked about that before.
Yes. Not in the channel.
Well,
that's another shock that we're gonna do.
But the IBU scale is problematic because it only refers to a specific type of bitterness. And if you said perceived bitterness and whatever, fine. Maybe that's a semantic argument. I don't care. But I do feel like there's value in having that on your label to say, this is this bitter-ish. This is this dark-ish. This is... and actually, the Hoyne one here does have color and malt and hops. But it says hops. It doesn't say bitterness. It doesn't say hop flavor.
I know they got that.
Right? So what are they defining by hops there? Are they talking about the bitterness? Are they talking about
the flavor?
The hop flavor? Are they talking about both added together? Are
you talking about the aroma?
Right.
Yeah.
And like we said, there's not a lot of aroma on this.
And also we gotta make an emphasis that this beer is non-filtered.
Non-filtered. There is actually some decent lacing that's starting to go on here.
A little bit,
like
more than the.
Look at
Satori.
That's way more than the Satori had.
Hey, I said it right.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations. He's growing. He's getting better.
I mean, it's not a bad beer. It's not something I would chuck it out, but like. I was expecting a little bit more, a little bit more of a profile of the hop, just for the fact that it's wet hop. You're expecting to taste the hop, right? Am I right or
you are? But again, it might be they might have gotten a weird batch of hops that did it. Like I don't want to say that this is them rather than their materials, and it's really hard to That's the thing. When you're picking up fresh hops and you've cut the vine down like 20 minutes ago and you're pulling the hops off.
Actually, let me Google
There's
it.
not room for you to vary what you're doing in your recipe based on the detail of how that hop turned out, because it is what it is, and you're either getting something amazing or something that's okay.
Because let me Google it, because I'm pretty sure they tell you where this hop come from.
Oh yeah, that'd be all right.
Yeah, I'm sure they tell you. I think Pender Island, I believe it.
Oh, Pender Island. Okay.
I think. Well, there you go. I got it here.
Okay. Dun, dun,
It's a
dun.
wet hop pale ale brew annually, follow the fresh hop harvest in September. It's a culmination of a great friendship between the homebrew and the Hop Bay Hop Farm in Pender Island. Yeah,
All right.
it's from Pender
Wouldn't
Island.
it be awesome to be somebody that works at one of those places? Like, can you imagine the number of hops that you get to just like, these are extras, just fucking take them home? Like,
yeah,
like you're done for the day, just sweep up and go home, and you're like,
packing like pounds of. Well,
just
that would be kilos.
yeah. Oh, I mean, I like to keep my eye out. Actually, this year didn't work out for me, but most years there's at least a couple of people that are posting on BrewVic or UsedVic or something like that that are like, I have hops and I'm not picking them. Come get them. None of that this year. I'm disappointed. Even you just ruined all these hops.
I'm sorry,
Like,
but
there's
you're
at least
right.
a kilo up
You're
here.
right. Yeah, it is about a kilo. I know. When I did my wet hop, I went up there, caught like tons of hop. Said like, you know what? I got enough. Like that was a kilo. There. Like that, I got enough for my batch. So I went to do my brew, and I was actually planning to do another brew, but like
Didn't
it
get
just
around
like
to it.
didn't
Yeah.
happen. It didn't happen. Like a lot of stuff going on, right? Like it just didn't happen. And by the time I went back to brew, the hop was like getting brown. And so like, no, I'm not gonna do it. Like, which I believe this is another thing why.
So you can save those and you can do a lambic next year.
Of course, yeah. But I have like a kilo of hop from the last year oxidized for my lambic. So I got tons of fucking hop there. Like this one is good to the compost. Yeah, being honest. Unless you want something for the lambic.
I've got some that's old too.
But yeah, I'm gonna get rid of it. What this is scary. Last year, I got 458 grams.
Yeah, that's not bad. Half a kilo.
Second year, I took 1 kilo, and you already seen it. It's like a kilo.
At
there.
least another kilo there.
So what am
I
gonna
didn't
get
look
next
on the
year?
back side there.
No, like the first year, I remember taking branches at like 5 hops. Right now, taking branches, like I took like cut out like branches and lifted up, and it would be like 30 hops hanging.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how when the harvesting time, like it was like whoa, like fucking 7
What a
times more than
difference,
it
eh?
used to be.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Also, I was putting some like nutrients. Some of the cones were about this long
That's significant.
and sticky. When you cut it, like it was actually sticky.
Oh, yeah. I've done some fresh hop brew days where you're like, you start your mash and then you're picking them off the vine as fast as you can to like fill the bucket. And by the time that all that goes into the boiler, you're just like, you're hands are black, and you're like,
It just tastes like hop.
yeah, just like, oh my god, it's so good. And then your hands smell like hops for like 3 days. Oh,
It's
I
beautiful.
love it.
I don't understand when people say like, I don't like the smell of hop. Like, what? You don't like the smell of like citrus? For
I
example,
guess- I
like
guess
when
it
I
dep-
open a Citra,
I-
oh my god, like that smell of the Citra is just like almost orgasmic.
Sure. But you know, like if you're talking about like Hallertau or something, it's way less. Maybe that's what they don't like.
Yeah, sauce,
And-
for example.
Any West Coast hop, I just
We're so fucking lucky.
just
to
kind
be
of
here,
gives
bro.
me a bit of a chubby every time.
Like we're so lucky to be here. Like we got to me, the only thing can compare to the Cascade hops is what they're making in New Zealand.
oh,
It's the only thing they can fucking compare with that. But beside that, for
oh my
example,
God. I have loved this year. Like I know you don't like it, but I've been doing my saisons with New Zealand hops, and I like to just pack a bunch of hops in there to add some extra bitterness and like that fruitiness, along with the all that Belgian character. It's just amazing.
well, Belgium will give you a little bit of fruity flavors, right?
Right, and so that complements so well, I think. But again, I'm brewing for me. I'm not brewing for you.
Yeah, but like for example, like New Zealand hop is in Galaxy. New Zealand.
I don't think Galaxy is like the ones I can think of off the top of my head are Azaka.
No, Osaka is West Hop.
Azaka is New Zealand.
I think it's West. No, well, let's Google it. You see, we start getting argument.
So like Vic Secret and Azaka.
Big Secret is it is.
And Kohatu and what else?
So Asaka came from Amarillo, Citra, and Dorado and Nugget.
Right, but it's grown in New Zealand. It's a crossbreed. Oh, and Motueka. Motueka is another one that I've used there. It's delicious.
Yeah, Citra, Galaxy, Mandarina, Bavaria is the substitution for it, which I disagree with Citra. Citra is unique.
You can use
To me.
Citra for
Citra
everything.
is unique.
That's,
To me,
that's,
Citra is
their-
unique.
that's what they're doing. They're like, you know what? You can use Citra in everything, so it's a substitution for everything. It's got lots of bitterness and it's got all the flavors. It's fine.
Yeah, no, like
Use Citra.
to me, Citra is unique
Yeah,
because you can actually like when you use Citra, you can actually tell it right away.
yeah. And especially if they're saying like Mandarina Bavaria and Citra are substitutions, those two hops taste so different.
Yeah, and the alpha
There is
acid is
no-
way fucking different.
There is no way I would ever say that either of those would be a substitution for the other.
Not even Galaxy.
Now,
They actually mentioned
well,
Galaxy
sure,
too.
okay, sure. Now, they're all great hops, and you can utilize them to good, results. And if you substitute those in instead of that, you would probably have a good beer. But I don't think that would ever be one that you could pass off as having had the other one.
Yes,
in it,
exactly.
right? which is what your
Like
substitution
for
is supposed
example,
to be.
Galaxy. Actually, Galaxy give me a little bit mango flavor.
Sure,
Give me a
I
little bit of what is the name of that?
haven't used a lot of.
In Spanish, it's called maracuya, but I don't know how would we call it in English. But it gives me that flavor. Also, a little bit of citruses.
Mhm.
The way I see it, like the New Zealand or the Australian hops, they're more like tropical fruit than citrus.
Absolutely, that's the key word I would use there. Is it's tropical fruit as opposed to citrus.
With
And
like West
Citra-
Coast would be like citruses.
Well, West Coast would be citrus and pine,
Yes.
right? Because we've got that dank pine thing to the West Coast IPA, which I also love.
Everybody does.
Wow. Except for the people that are wrong.
Yeah, but nobody cares about them.
Ah, that's fair. That's fair. See, we do agree on things.
You see, sometimes it's like when we have to be mean with people.
Mhm.
Moon under water,
Okay.
friends in high places. This beer has a. They use a weird technique.
For this they did a thing where they cryo froze the hops and
Exactly.
they broke them up and then they added all that to the
Fermenter.
to the fermenter. Yeah.
Yes, that hop never was into the boil station. So basically,
So did they use another hop during
No.
the boil?
I don't know about that yet. Like I can ask,
Yeah.
but
I did see the
didn't-
video and
in the video what they show is just they smash those fucking things. I'm pretty sure. Well, if
what
well,
they
we're
did
brewers,
what,
man, we're
right,
brewers.
what they did isn't some of the things that talked about this said that it was cryo hopped, and what they did wasn't exactly what most descriptions of how to use cryo hops
Will be, yeah.
will be. So it's not quite the same, but it's, as you can see, it's not nearly as clear.
No, it's super cloudy.
And Clay can do some really clear
Yeah.
beers. So
I've
it's
seen him doing a good beer.
there's about the same
The same as
about the same
Wolf.
foam density as the
Of the Wolf.
Hoyne. It looks nice.
The
There's
smell.
there's more aroma than we had with the Hoyne, I think.
Yes, it is, but it's not like the
It's
Satori. Satori was just insane. Like from here, I can smell it.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
or I could smell it. Like this one. Technically, what I hear from Clay, and also we're brewers, we know.
Mhm.
So if we want to add bitterness, that means they add fucking hop
Mhm.
into the boiling for 60 minutes to get the bitterness. We need to isomer like the alpha acid to get the bitterness.
Mhm.
So, but when we saw on the video that they got the hop and they were like basically crushing,
Smashing it with like a paddle or something.
and then
right?
like they got like the liquid nitrogen going on it.
Yeah, because that was all on their Instagram or something, right?
Yes, that's correct. So when I talked to Clay told me that they had an issue in the past by contamination of wild yeast and the hop. So the reason why they did the cryo, it was to technically kill
They added the
everything
nitrogen
on
to
it,
kill everything
everything on
on
the
the
hop.
hop.
So when you put it into the fermenter, because it was very interesting, like they put it in bags
Mhm.
inside the fermenter, and then they filled out the fermenters with the final product after the brew
Mhm.
process. So technically, for me, that's a dry hop.
Well, yeah.
A
Well,
technique, basically.
and that's what most fresh hops are. It's a dry hop with a wet hop. So that's basically the same. I do feel like I'm getting a lot more vegetal flavors. Like there's almost a cucumber
Ooh,
kind of flavor
way
to it.
more than the wolf. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like a literally biting a little piece of like a hop leaf.
Yeah. And that's interesting, right? It's definitely not a thing that you get very often. It's possible it's going to throw some people off, but it is enjoyable in its own way.
In the way I seen it, if you're a brewer,
Mm-hmm.
you have experience with hop, you enjoy this because it tastes like hop. It tastes
Yeah, sure.
like the hop.
Sure.
And it actually brings you a little bit more closer to what the flavor of the hop will be in the plant with that green
Yeah,
flavor.
it really does remind me of like, I mean, you've grown the hops, you've pulled them off and just stuck them in your face and chewed
Yep.
them while you're pulling them all down and throwing them in the brew or whatever. So like that's a lot of the flavor that you're getting here, which is very different from any of these other. Actually, mind you, all these beers have been very different, but it's not like any other fresh hop beer that I've ever had. And while it has less foam than the other beers, I'm only 2 steps in, and I already have lacing.
It's true. It's true.
Right.
Look at that.
I've got more lacing on this beer
in this beer than we had in any other.
than I had in any of those others.
Really good point.
And
good point.
And I'm only that far down.
And my phone is still there.
Yes. And there's still some big chunks of foam. There's still lots of dense foam.
Something that you want to see in a beer when you're drinking it. Like, this is my point of view. Like sometimes you can have a beer that it tastes so good, but if it doesn't bring you this and this, you gotta agree with me. Like, it's not kind of like satisfying. It's like you're missing something. Like, you got a great flavor, work out on your phone.
I'm with you here. I would go so far as to say that when we're looking at things like the BJCP guide and whatever, they only talk about, they mostly only talk about the flavors. They don't talk about the way things
appearance.
Look.
Well, they do a little bit of appearance of the color, but it doesn't tell you.
But not about the way that color impacts your enjoyment of the beer. And I get that that's a hard thing to justify and explain in a marketing system.
I can give you an example of that.
Please.
For example, when I do my IPA and I use Citra, I only use like a crystal 1116 to keep a color really clear, because I believe when you're thinking about like Citra, it has to be clear. It has to be. This is a little bit too dark for it,
right?
But if I make an IPA
when we see
exactly
that,
and my point is this: when I make an IPA that it tastes like a grapefruit, I tend to go this color because I think it takes you more into that.
Oh, I like to add a little bit of Vienna when I'm doing that, so
that's nice.
Gives a little bit of redness to it. It's subtle, but it just brings that around the other way there.
And this is my point. This color will tell you like, oh, this thing must taste like grapefruit, because how the grapefruit looks.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
that. That's a good point. How about this? Have you ever been to a fancy restaurant?
Yep.
You've been to nice restaurants. When you go there, they plate everything, and
I was a server.
Oh, there you go. But so then you saw lots of stuff that were going out, and as you're putting it out, they plate everything and they present it just so, right? But presentation is therefore is an important part of putting that product out in front of people, right? So having your beans or your carrots lined up just right to make the main dish awesome is the same thing as lining up your color
It's
and
correct.
your clarity
It's correct.
to properly expose your flavors and your scents.
Or the classic beer of the home brewers that they posted of their like saying, "Hey, I'm making this beer," and you can tell they got some oxidation during the mash, and the beer literally looks like a mop water.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gross.
Like, wait, man, like, come on, like.
Yeah,
The only way they get that color is because you fucked it up in your fucking brewing.
right. I mean,
I haven't found a way to find a brown cardboard color without doing that.
yeah. I mean, you got to give them constructive criticism, right? You got to say, well, maybe you should look at this in your process. It's
But we're not here to tell people how to brew. We're here to share how we brew.
oh, sure,
And our experience and what we think about shit, like what we think about beers. Like, I think this been a really good fucking podcast, man. Like we've been through like very technique into the process of these beers. Also, the look and good lacing.
Yeah,
Monitor Water
still-
is winning.
Yeah, they're definitely winning. Their clarity is kind of low. It's kind of a cloudy beer, but you can't have everything. These guys went for aroma,
Best aroma.
best aroma. These guys went for.
But also, I think it wins best flavor between those two.
This is true
Because we got a little bit of a green flavor, which we have in here too.
yeah,
Those two, between those two, I believe this one it was tasting a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
My point of view.
yeah. I mean, they're all great breweries, right? So it's
That's
hard.
great beers, right?
It's don't take this as us saying that the one beer is.
I'm not saying like this is shit, this is better. No, the three of them, they're fucking great.
These are all great, and this is
It's
slightly
just so
best.
hard to tell
And
which
then-
one is better.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're trying to be so fucking picky to find mistake in the beer because they're almost fucking perfect.
Yeah.
It's all we're trying to do here. But head retention, lacing.
Way
I
best
think
head
it's winning.
retention and lace in there for sure.
Best aroma.
Yeah.
I don't know what to
and they-
say about you.
They had second best head retention.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't think we should drink this. We're getting too fucking mean.
Just you wait.
I should start with mine first.
Well, then this whole time we would have been saying, "Oh, well, the worst one."
No. We're gonna find something wrong here. Hey, you already tried it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're back.
Oh yeah.
Still drinking this Friends in High Places. I like it. For example, we were talking about commercial beer. And
Mhm.
commercial beer use a corn or rice for make the beer.
A lot of them, yeah. The macro lagers.
Have
and
you
stuff.
tried the Hoyo, like the one from Moon Under Water, the Takame? The brown
Oh
rice?
yeah,
It's
I
actually
tried that.
not bad.
It's
Like for being as like a commercial way, it actually have flavor.
it does. I mean, like we said, lagers are not my style. So the brown rice lager is not my style. But for what it is, it's a good beer.
It has flavor.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my point. Like, what my
It
point
has
is, like,
flavor.
when you drink Corona, it has no fucking flavor.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they tell you to drink it the coldest as possible, so you can have those bad flavors because it tastes like shit.
Yeah,
These beers, as you guys know, just to let you guys know, they're about like 5 degrees, 6 degrees, something like that.
Well,
like,
they were when you brought them in here.
they're warm.
It's
Like, they're not cold, so we can actually taste it. That's my point.
oh yeah, like
One thing, what is like under 5 degrees, your tongue start getting numb, and you can
yeah,
start,
you,
like
you,
not
you
tasting.
lose 40% of your taste receptors below 5 degrees.
There you go. This is the whole reason why the Mexican beer, they tell you, drink it so cold because it tastes like shit.
And why the Coors Light can has the mountains that are supposed to be blue.
Exactly,
right?
because it tastes like shit
So
if
that,
you drink it at the
so that
regular
if
temperature.
it's cold enough, you don't taste it.
That's the point. That's actually the point of the commercial breweries. So if you guys are starting to going into beers, if you don't like a beer, how it tastes about 15 degrees, it's
Well, I mean,
because you taste.
15 is a little.
What?
If you don't like it at 10,
Okay,
let's
go 10 degrees.
If you don't like your beer at 10 degrees, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Probably 4,000 degrees. But
4 million. No. Yeah.
But if you don't like it at that
You know
point,
what? One thing I said in my channel,
what's that?
I always say, like, we're doing the math 65 Celsius, obviously, because we're in Canada.
I like it. I like it. Hey, like I said, if I ever end up putting together a brew channel and I start doing that, I'll just name off my 7,000 degrees, and maybe there'll be a this much in Fahrenheit that pops up underneath, because I can't do that math in my head. I don't understand
and
Fahrenheit.
No, the problem with Fahrenheit is not like just single math. Like, as a warmer that it gets, is higher the difference.
Yeah.
And as a colder it gets, is closer. So like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, seriously,
You're
I'm
supposed
sorry.
to, like-
I love my friends in the United States because I got a couple of friends there. I got
think
family in the United States, but
I think you're supposed to like subtract 2 and multiply by 35 or something.
it's not quite like that, because
It's-
like it actually changed like the difference. For example, 40 degrees Celsius is about 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
But
But like 20 and 70 are
I
basically
know.
the same, right?
it kind of gets like narrower. That's what I mean. Like, as a colder as it gets, is narrower up, and as a colder it gets, it's kind of like the gap is bigger. It's weird. That's what
I can't use Fahrenheit.
I ignore them. I got a sister living in the United States, and she telling me like, "Oh yeah, that's weather like in Fahrenheit." It's like, do you realize that you grew up in Mexico and you grew up with fucking Celsius? So how come you talk about fucking Fahrenheit to me?
Yeah, no, that
Makes
doesn't
no
make any
sense to me, but like, whatever.
if she understands Fahrenheit, why doesn't she translate that?
I don't know.
Like, you guys are talking in Spanish when you're talking together?
Yeah.
So-
Spanish, Spanglish.
Spanglish, okay. So at that point, like, wouldn't Celsius make sense? I don't know.
Celsius would be fucking perfect sense.
What do
But,
I know?
Like, again, one of the things I don't understand, for example, we got metric systems here.
Yeah.
Why you buy the meat in kilos and the vegetables in pounds?
Buy the vegetables in kilo.
No, when you go to the store,
They
always
have
say
both
pound.
prices.
No,
Yeah, they do.
maybe I'm missing it then. Okay. Clandestino brewing.
That didn't come out under a whole lot of pressure. This isn't a giant bottle, so I'm not going to put a whole lot. Oh, okay, it's more than that.
It's like half a liter. Come on, way more. Like, keep going. glass is thicker. Remember?
Yeah, no, you've got the girth. Okay, well, it's bigger than I thought it was there.
Talk about the foam first.
Okay, well, you're. Oh,
I'm not gonna say anything about mine.
Okay, so the bubbling is different between our two glasses
Because the height.
because of the height. Yours, the big ones are settling. It looks like you've got more big bubbles than either of these two guys, but still less than that. Clarity is not as nice as either of these, but it's better than the moon.
Think that, Clay.
You know, it's still quite clear. The color,
No Artist Moss. Sorry, no Artist Moss and no gelatin.
I've never used Irish moss, actually. Is it?
I use it just for the lagers.
Oh, okay.
It works, but
My lagers, I use gelatin on them. No.
well, no gelatin, no Artist Moss in this.
Actually, as I look at this, my head is dropped down quite a bit in the short term. So head retention is definitely less than the moon. It's hard to say whether it's better than Hoyne or not.
I think I got better lacing than them. Look at my glass.
Is that from this beer or is it from the last beer? Because the moon, this lacing here in my glass is still from the moon.
I cleared it.
Okay, I didn't see that. I'm gonna watch for it, but
Okay, go ahead. No. Hey, don't take that to like I'm getting mad or anything. No. I'm just listening. Like,
yeah. You've got a lot less bitterness.
Mhm.
You've got less bitterness than any of these other beers here.
it's quite sweet, isn't it?
And there's a fair bit of sweetness there. I don't think it's that your FG is high. I think it's
No, it's actually the sweetness. It comes from the hop.
yeah. That's what
It's
I'm
not.
thinking.
It's not a grain. Sweet, but it doesn't have that like green shit.
No, it doesn't. There's a hint of a greenness to it, mostly on the finish. You see what I'm saying there?
Mm-hmm. Because it comes from the wet hop.
From the wet hop, right? But it's
Which it was about the same as this, because this one didn't have that.
right. So there is a bit of that. I mean, it's expected, like I say, because it's a fresh hop. I think it's quite a tasty beer.
Being honest, it's way better than the last year. The last year is something I call the fuck up IPA because
You know, I'm looking at this and I am seeing a bit of lacing. It's pretty decent that way. I think you're definitely not the worst out of these four.
yeah, at least I winning something.
Well, I mean, like you're comparing to some breweries
Yeah, I compared like
that are gold award, like best of the country brewing.
think it this way. I'm this fucking guy that is trying to fight, and I'm going for the fucking champion of the world. Let's try to fight. Like, yes, like I'm actually pretty proud of myself when like Clay tells me like, man, your beer is actually pretty good, because Clay make really good beer.
He's excellent. He's one of the only people on this island who have a master's in brewing, and some of the beers that they put out really showcase he ends up in the back office managing things a lot more than I think that he would like to. But every time that he comes out in the brewery, you know it.
And also, it's pretty cool feeling that someone that is a brewmaster and you bring your beer and he invites you to brew with him, like it happens to my friend here.
Yeah.
And it happens to me here too. It's fucking cool. I was like, when a brewmaster recognizes your job,
What you're doing,
like what you're doing, and so like this beer worth to be in 1,000 fucking liters and sell it. That's cool.
Yeah.
And you have to get that like for yourself, like.
Oh, the thing is I try not to do that all the time because I don't want to get inflated. But yeah, like that's realistically, that's a big
your
deal.
head can get that big. Yeah, you can lose fucking balance. Yeah,
Right.
It's a big fucking deal. Also, why are you brewing with him? It's like being in school, man. You're learning while you're fucking there, man. Like my experience with him, like brewing, I think more that I can take of a pride to brew my own recipe. I will say I'm more grateful what I learned being with him.
Absolutely. I learned a lot brewing with Clay. One of the biggest things that I learned actually was that I knew what I was talking about. Because like as I was like going there, like, it's so easy for you to dismiss your own experience and what you're doing as just, like I'm a home brewer, right? I brew 50-liter batches at a time. There's no way that compares. And then, I'm up on the gangway. We're dumping stuff in. We're doing the brew, and we're talking about all the things. And I was holding my own in a conversation with him. And he's probably dialing it down for me, but that doesn't matter. Right? But like we're talking about all the beer, and we're talking about how it's gone and why you're doing this and why you're doing that. And like it was kind of shocking to me that doing that, like I followed the whole conversation, and you're like, you kind of expect that it's all going to go over your head. And I guess that was a bit of a wake-up call to like, hey, like I've actually been learning over this time,
Yeah, no, exactly. Like for example, like for me, like I remember bringing beers to Clay, starting with like lagers, like some like Bohemian Pilsner, I like Bohemian Pilsner. And he loves like hoppy pilsners.
Yeah.
It's the reason why like the Potspils. And he told me like he fall in love of the hoppy pilsner in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So I bring in my beers. I remember when I bring my first like Hefeweizen, I give it to him, and he described my beer as a flawless.
Oh wow!
And it's like, wow, man! Like literally, like what? It's like you beat mine. What? It's like you balance it perfectly, and they start asking me, "What were you OG? Like, what was this? What temperature did you use?" Like, it's asking me for everything I was fucking doing.
And you're like, "Oh, I don't have my brew sheet on me."
And then I told him like, "Okay, I did this and that," and he said like, "You know what you did?" So like, Hefeweizen?
Sure.
So like, no, you control the consumes of sugars to actually balance with clove and banana.
Oh, that's so tough.
And and he told me like, that's hard, man. Like, and he started asking me like, hey, do you have like, how do you control the temperature? And then I showed like, well, I have this fermenter, like the one explodes today.
Yeah, the one that exploded. Yeah.
And yeah, he was pretty like impressed. He said like, your beer is better, like your Hefeweizen is better than the one is around here. And man, what do you think I felt?
What a shock that is, right?
Yeah, like I just feel like, oh fuck, like seriously, I did that. I do the second batch, it wasn't the same result.
Wow.
Obviously, right? Like it's always something different.
I did Belgian blonde that I added maple to 7 years ago. Okay. And when I poured it, it was perfect. It had all that Belgian character. It was clear. It had, like a little bit of the phenolics that it come with, but it was a crystal clear blonde with like just maple, like draped on top, right? And I took good notes, and I have tried to do that beer all of the time, and I have never done that beer again. And it was gorgeous. It was beautiful, and I don't know. I'll never do it again.
Yeah.
I want to, but it'll never happen.
Like I said last year, I have the fuck up IPA.
Yeah.
I stressed my yeast, so I got a little bit of banana flavor on it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you can get banana flavor out of 1056. So
I haven't gotten that out of there, but okay, yeah.
And I give it to Clay, and Clay's like, man, this is delicious. So like, I can't recreate it. I don't know what the fuck happened here. I don't really have no fucking clue what happened here. But it's an IPA that it has like 60 IBUs, wet hop, and it tastes like fucking banana.
That's crazy sauce. And
it was weird.
Why didn't you share this with me?
Huh?
Why didn't you share this with me? What kind of a friend are you?
I used to call it like, being honest, I wasn't happy with the result.
No, well, okay.
And that's why
that's the thing.
I shared with Clay because I wanted to have a feedback, right?
Actually, that makes sense. I brewed a beer. I did a lager one time because, like, I don't really like the style, but I know people that like the style, and so I did a Pilsner, right? And I did it all wrong as per the stats, right? Like I fermented it warm, and I, did all these things, and it ended up lagering for like 3 months, I think.
Holy shit!
Because I didn't have time to package it up, right? And
a real lagering.
It wasn't intentional, but I bottled it all up and everything, and I ended up, I gave Clay a bottle, right? And a bunch of other people had it and they liked it and whatever. And it got drank, it disappeared. 6 months later, he had a friend over to visit him from Germany, and they were, having a couple of beers, and they had a couple more beers, and then in the back of the fridge there was this one, and I told Clay there was something weird with it when I gave it to him because I fermented it warm, right? And so we put it in the back of the fridge, probably to be nice and not to tell me that it's a piece of shit, right? And his buddy pulls it out, and they poured it, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is a great beer."
Just remember, best beer comes out of mistakes.
Yeah. You do that beer that's a mistake, and the biggest problem with it is that you will never recreate it.
That's the problem. Like, there's so many fucking factors in beer that it can change the flavor and everything. Well, buddy, we're on the end of the beer. Should we wrap it up?
I guess so.
Well, guys, that's a long fucking podcast. But that was awesome trying like differences about like the wet hop beers, man. What are your thoughts?
I really enjoyed it. I mean, if you guys like this, let me know, and I'll come back, and we'll do some more
let us know.
tasting
Like give us some comments, or if you guys are in town and you want to get invited to join us, that's too. Like,
Also, if you want, send me the T-shirt from your brewery, and I'll totally wear it on the podcast.
Like mine. I got that. Next time you get a shirt. Okay.
There we go.
All right. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you guys and share this information or share this experience, I guess.
Yeah, it was fun.
Drinking beers and
Every beer is an experience.
You know
and
what?
that experience goes away.
I got so much fun.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind to do it again. I don't
Okay.
think you mind it again. I don't think you mind it either because
The beer was free.
So
That's my favorite price.
yeah, guys. See you in the next one.